Yeah. Welcome to another more conversations with the average black man. And I got AR up here today. And we're just gonna have a quick show, just a little quickie. Um, Today we're talking about what is single mothers. We were supposed to have some other ladies join us. Let's see if they come. Other callers or other viewers may come later. I don't know. But this is honestly something that me and AR wanted to do way before the spontaneous live was suggested. So, hey, we're going to roll with the punch. Thank you, brother, for joining.
No, I appreciate you having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I see you've been doing a lot. You're doing a lot and doing your thing on Facebook with your lives. So I'm happy to have you up here and having another content creator because I try to get us together. It's a hard thing to do. But I'm happy to have you on here. So you want to kick it off?
I appreciate you inviting me on. We're gonna talk. I mean, there's other stuff we can talk about, but primarily the single parents are failures. Not single mothers, not only single mothers, right? I'm not attacking black women or single mothers, but single parents are failures.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we're gonna start. We're starting off with violence. Okay. Jeez. Well, that's how he wanted to start this live. So why you think single parents is failing? I mean, are you a parent? Let me ask that first and
Yes.
foremost. Okay. So why do you think single parent is failing?
Well, a single parent is failure because it took two people to create a child, and I believe it takes two people to actually raise a child. Can you do it with one person? You can, but you're still a failure. Doesn't mean you can't be successful in your failure. I failed in many things in life, and that's actually helped me to maybe I can't do that certain thing, but that helped me to gain experience and gain knowledge so I can do something else, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you created a child with someone, you're not able to stay with that person and raise that child with them, that's a failure. That's not successful.
So is it see, here's what I heard one feeling in a relationship, but how was that feeling as a parent just because you felt the relationship? What do the relationship as mother and father have to do with the relationship they will have with their children?
Living by example, a child growing up seeing life examples in their household is extremely important. I believe that's what's lacking, and that's what's being promoted. You don't need the other. You can have a step parent, or you don't need the biological parent. Um, the biological parent has certain characteristics. The child will be behaving a certain way that the child doesn't quite understand. Why do I laugh this way, or why am I weird in this way, or whatever case be? Because your father's like that. It's genetics. And if you don't have that person in your household, you're not learning about yourself. You're growing up not learning why you are the way you are. And a man, a boy, a girl, they need to see healthy relationship between your biological parents of how your mother is supposed to be treated. The father, the child, the son will see son or daughter will see the mother's being really nagging. She has some sort of hormonal imbalance or whatever was wrong with her, and the father's very patient and calm with her. A lot of us didn't grow up to see that. That's very, very important. That's something that you need to
You
experience, not only read in the book.
I can understand what you're saying. I can
Hmm.
understand what you're saying. But are we honestly saying that this can't be achieved outside of the parents living together? Like co-parenting cannot achieve this same value. Well, not same, but equivalent. At
I
least 75% of that.
um I don't I think the only way it can be achieved is if that child grows up seeking that information on their own. Um, but you can't give your child something that's not there. It's not there. Even if that man is your stepfather, that's not your father. Unfortunately, like I adopted my nephew. Unfortunately, uh, he doesn't have his biological parents with him, even though we're related. There's a lot that's missing. There's a lot that's missing, and unfortunately, even though it fell into my lap, I adopted him. That's failure on my part.
Um, I think if one has a blanket mindset of what is going to work and what isn't going to work, like it's either work this way or it'll work that way. There is no like gray areas. Then of course that's how one is going to think. But success and failure is measured, is subjective. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You might
Yeah.
not get the same equivalency of having a two-parent home, but if your parents could work together and work cohesively in helping raising you, then that can also have its own benefits versus being raised just by your mother or just by your father, which I heard those statistics goes better, but still lacking in some other areas that the ideal would be the ideal American thing would be to have both parents in the home, married, picket fence, live happily ever after type shit. So
If you're not able to provide your child with the basics of life, the basic number one basic is two parents. That's where they came from. So if you're not able to provide a child with the mother and father in the same household, the reason why the same household is important because that's protection. Mother and father with the protection of the child, that's a failure in itself. You didn't give your child the primary first basis of this life. When it's born, the first base of his life is the only thing it should know is where it came from, the mother and father. And one of
mhm.
that part is missing.
It's not missing if you got a co-parent. See, the conversation in the back chat was if you got two parents and they're co-parenting, then you're not technically a single parent, meaning you're parenting singly. But your thing is um if you're not living in the
Married?
same household, then how are you co-parenting?
Yes, because 2 o'clock in the morning, if the child's living with the mother, 2 o'clock in the morning, if someone breaks into the mother's home, how is the father protecting that child? Y'all gotta have an agreement to see each other on Christmas. Y'all can't even spend time as a family on Christmas. It's dysfunctional.
It's abnormal.
It's dysfunctional.
It's abnormal.
Abnormal. Uh,
It's you can't say it's dysfunctional if it's functioning for them,
but
but it's
okay,
abnormal.
it may seem like it's functioning for the mother and father, but is it functioning for the child? There's a lot that the child is missing out on. I'm not now when I say it's failure, I'm not saying that a child can't grow up to become great in society, become a great mother. I mean, a great mother, great father, uncle, son, brother. I'm not saying they can't become great, but the parent on the parents' end, they started out the child on failure, and we look at how many households, the single parent households, co-parent, single parent household, it's a failure. It's
I
not a
don't want to give
successful.
like an anecdotal. I
Mhm.
don't want to come like give like a. I don't want to say anecdotal, but I don't want to give like a super crazy rebuttal or extreme rebuttal. But at 2 o'clock in the morning or 20, no man can provide his family 24 hour protection. It's just not going to happen. He cannot protect his family 24 hours on end. And if men statistically are working, let's say 70 hours per week, two jobs at a time, then how is he going to protect her at 2 o'clock in the morning if he ain't there anyway? He's at work. So, or guys that are truck drivers or guys that get deployed, like it's 99 situations where this woman is going to have to protect herself. So, one thing I love about one of my members named Jessica, is that her whole family is taught to how to protect themselves. Like, in other words, the man's greatest protection he could put on his family is knowledge. The knowledge to how to protect yourself when I ain't around. Because I ain't going to be around all the time. I got to provide. You can't provide and protect simultaneously. It's not going to work. So I think giving your family the tools to protect themselves is the best tools you could ever give them.
Do you believe you can raise a child if you're not physically present most of that child's childhood?
You could what?
Can you raise a child if you're not physically present during most of that child's childhood? Now you're providing, you're giving money, stuff like that, but you're just not physically present to teach them these life lessons and so forth like that. Can you raise a child if you're not physically present around that child?
If you're not physically present, like you're not doing anything, you're not having a weekends with them, you're not doing homework and things in those natures with them, then no, you would not build any relationship or bond with that child. But like I said, if we're going off of just regularisms of men, they don't be around their child that much anyway because they're working.
That in itself is a failure. If you spend
But
more,
that's
if you spend,
a societal failure, though. That comes
okay,
out of the realm of being a two-parent home, more so how worked the working class is. Like, y'all guys work longer hours than your great grandfathers right now.
yes, but that doesn't
So
that doesn't make it
that
okay
plays
though.
that's it doesn't, but it's not your fault though.
It is no. Listen, before you have children, you can in this country you can get educated, and if you're poor, most of your education is free. Right? I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Most of your education is free. You can get educated. You can have a job as a man. You can wait until you're 35 years old. Around that time, student loans should be paid off, and then you can start working on creating a family. But what a lot of people are doing, they're having kids before they even accomplish. They don't even have their associate's degree, and they have a child. They're not even enrolled in any type of blue collar job and be established at least with that to have it and then have kids. So they're having children. Children takes up a lot of your time and resources. If you're having children before you're prepared, it's nearly hardly ever impossible to prepare unless you're working 2 to 3 jobs. And then
Well,
that leads
yeah,
to us where we're
that's
at right now,
that's
the conversation.
that's a lot of us. If everybody could do that, then the bar would be
But you
set higher.
can.
Well,
But you
listen,
can
listen.
though.
If everybody waited till they get till they get into what higher upper middle class, then
Hmm.
there wouldn't be no higher upper middle class.
Okay.
Classism don't work like that. It
Okay.
don't
So
work like
but everyone can do that though, right? They
But
have the
if they
ability to do
did
that,
it,
right?
would it be no high? You would change that class into the lower class, to the average class now, and the cost of things will go up.
Got it. So that means that there's a lot of people who are failing as parents.
But babe,
M-
what I'm saying
Even men
is,
that are working
I
all these
don't
hours,
disagree with you.
that's a
I
failure.
just think I don't disagree with you economically.
Yeah.
However, I just think that that's something that is like, it's people in other countries that don't got as much as we got and their families are thriving. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's the issue. Like the core
Hmm.
issue to like raising children. I don't think it's the core issue to having to do the standard thing, because the standard thing is not working, knowing that we cost of living is up, things like that. So you gotta change. You gotta change with those times. So to be solution oriented, these kids ain't gonna get 100% of nobody's time if everybody gotta work. Hence why the whole stay at home mom thing. But with that being
Hmm.
said, dad is out the house majority of the time because a lack of income, right?
Yeah.
So it is in society right now, that unbalance is unbalanced. So we got to solution that out. Then we could go around and start talking about, you know, how to have kids and be in financial better situations. But if we're talking about just basic, giving your kids the best they can be, a two-parent home is enough. Is enough. Whether your mom got to work and your dad got to work, your mom ain't there all the time. Oh well, at least you got two parents though. At least they trying, they fixing. You ain't.
That's
You're
not good
not
enough
wanting for
though.
nothing. Nobody's on government assistance. They're teaching you how to build an economy for yourself, like
But
be
that's not good
economically
enough for the.
viable for yourself.
Okay, so if you're at work all day, the father's at work all day. Who's raising that child? Not the parents. Who's
Whoever's
raising
not
it?
all right. So the father goes to work at night. Mom's shift is in the morning.
Okay, and then
Mom
so when
shift
you
in the opposite runs is hand. So y'all are team up in parenting. Tap you in, tap you out. You go to sleep. That's how it should go. Then we have a village type situation where we got the grandparents and other people as well. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. Especially when your kids go to school 8 hours out the day. You got time. 8 to 10 hours, you got time.
Mhm.
What's up,
Yeah.
Timothy? The wonderful average black man. But that's just my ideal,
And
you
now
know?
I'm not saying that I have all the answers and my life is all pinned down perfect and the way, you know, but at the same time, really what I'm getting at is that you made a point about the men are working 70 hours or even close, I know some 120 hours in a week. Okay, but you're not raising your child then. I understand you're providing, that's a great thing, but you're not present. Who's raising that kid? Not you.
So,
So, mhm.
do you think you got to be around your children 24/7 to raise your children? Kids do go to school. School is 6 to 8 hours a day, right?
I don't. Yes, I don't believe in public school, but yes, they do go to school. But I'm not saying you have to be
Public
there twenty
school,
four
private
seven.
school, charter school, Catholic school, they go to school six to
Homeschool.
eight hours a day, not including extracurricular activities after school, like after school programs. Now, if your kid go to school and they got an after school program, that means they out the house for 10 to 12 hours.
Yes, which can be pretty damaging depending on, what program they're in and so forth. I believe in homeschooling, but so the kids in school all day. The kid gets off. You get off. Oh, both parents spending time with that child at home. Really, no, not really that much. The
Yeah, that's
weekends.
what dinner time is for.
But how many families are in our community, or I'm from New York, that are actually sitting down at the table having dinner together? None, hardly ever, unless they're the Hispanic family are still doing that. A lot of the Hispanic Ecuadorians and so forth, but a lot of the families are not sitting down at the dinner table.
I must say that when I have family dinners, we all sit down and eat. Like especially when we go to Mom Deuce crib. At my
Yes.
house, we all sit and eat together. It's not at the table, same ceremonial, the same
Mm-hmm.
ceremony. We all still sitting eating together. Only time I haven't ate with my children is when I'm not hungry, which is rare.
Okay.
Like I'm not hungry, you eat. This is for your nourishment. Or they hangry. You know, kids get hangry. Look, put this in your mouth. Shut up. So I definitely, like I said, certain traditionalisms is definitely very, very, very important in kids' lives because we don't spend time around each other as is because we're social creatures.
Yeah.
We don't want to suffocate our kids. We also want our own adult lives between mom and dad. And the kids have lives of their own, especially when they get like middle school, high school. Yeah, they want to venture out and have their own friends, start their own journeys.
Well, that's true. But I also get on the men too that I'm not saying they have to. I don't say everyone got to work. Like I messed up myself. I started to try to implement we're gonna sit down at the dinner table and stuff. But my nephew, he'd be bored. He'd be looking at me like, okay, can I get the iPad? Where's Netflix? I don't eat this. I'll sit there and eat with y'all. So, but um, I try to implement it myself. But I should have been doing that because I had that growing up, and I believe it worked. But today's society got away from it a little bit. But even with the men, listen. You don't need to spend a lot of time with your kid. I'm not saying you got to spend all day. If you got to work, you got to work. But you got to get some night. You go food shopping, bring your kid with you. They got to see how you interact, how you got to get in an argument, how you diffuse that. The mom is bugging out, how you diffuse her, how you handle that, how you fix things around the house. They need to get some little nuggets and see how you are. It can't be like you're at work all the time. Then what are you working for?
I mean, we work
It's
because
hard.
the cost of
You
living.
got to
We
work,
work
and then
because
that
the
becomes
cost
money.
of living is high. Like even if you're doing it the way that you want to do, which is like, let's say the holistic way, you know. So you're homeschooling, living off the land. It's just you, the kids, and wife. Where's the social quality coming in at? Where's your friends and your life outside the kids? Where's her life outside the kids? Where's the kids' life outside of y'all? These are all dynamics that play in the human makeup. We're going to somewhat thrive to not talk to just these 3 or 4 faces after a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's outing, there's programs, there's places you can go to socialize. Like there's other things you can do. And normally, those type of people, they have a lot. They have like 7, 8 kids. They have a lot of kids. But there's
Yeah,
social
yeah,
gatherings and stuff
yeah.
you can go to.
Well, that's another thing. That's another topic. Like once you start having a lot of kids, then I don't understand how dad is working those hours because
I don't know what's going
I
on.
need help. I seen I seen a I seen a guy at my job with his triplets.
Nah, that's
His
crazy.
trip and wifey wasn't in sight. He was at my job. He was over there eating and tasting everything, picking up his little produce and stuff. He was just shopping, doing him with the babies. And they was just chilling. That when nobody was crying. Now, fast forward to the moms, the wives with the baby is falling out the card is whining. She's shopping at 6 o'clock, knowing it's nap time. I'm like, why are you out here with this baby? It was just. I was like, man, yeah, that's why the dads need to watch the kids because moms just be at disarray. I think they'd be overwhelmed.
Yeah, and what's crazy? I don't see. Maybe it's just me, but I really don't see families like that. They're together, like um, doing activities and stuff together. It's either I always see one. Maybe I'm wrong, but with my eyes, I always see like one of them doing something with the kids. Either it's the mom with the kids or the father with the kids. Maybe he's working on. I don't know. That's a lot of kids, man. 7, 8 kids. Like my mom had 11 kids, so
I
my
mean,
household
you
was
want to get
crowded.
away from the kids sometimes. You get what I'm saying? And I work at the grocery store, so I see it every day. You want to get away from the kids. They hear every day, all day. Can I have? Let me have. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. Like, yes, go away. And then it's
Yeah.
3 of them, and then 3 turn into 4, 4 turn into 5. Like,
I don't know what my mom was doing. My mom had 11 kids. My household was crowded all the time. It was too many kids. Too
can
many
you
kids. And I was
imagine
like,
the men that's in the KS groups talking about they want to come home to a quiet house, but they got 5 kids. You get what I'm saying? They
it doesn't exist
want they want
unless
an
you're giving them
hour
minute
of
talking
alone
time.
time, but they got 5 kids. And she was in the house with them kids all day.
It's gonna be dried
You
up
like,
by the
but I
time you get it.
provide and I work. But she was in that house with them kids all day.
It don't work.
She
It
don't care
definitely
about
don't
none
work
of them
like
kids or anybody in the house care about you going to work
that.
all day.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Hey,
You
they
ain't getting
happy to
none.
see you. They happy to see you. They want to know what your day was. They don't care how stressful it is. You could be like, I don't want to talk. They want to talk. They miss you. You've been going all day.
Yeah, my mom was my younger brother. He has, I think he has 4 kids, and I told her, I said, "Yo, wait, just give it some time. Wait, just wait." Nope, he had it, and there's a lot that he's expecting, but I'm like, dog, you want her to stay home and take care of the kids and it's all of them, and they got ADHD and all, you ain't getting none. Like
Oh, that's another thing.
that shit gonna be
So
dried up.
since we're
She's
talking
dying.
about co-parenting,
Yeah,
how would that work? If you got the kids up under you 24/7, every
yeah.
day, all day, they super dependent on y'all. They really don't have no codependency because they around y'all all the time. How
Hmm.
do you have Mr. Nasty time, Mrs. Adult time, Mrs. I don't want to talk about baby shark time? Like, how you have that if you have these kids 24/7?
Well, I mean, you gotta have a lot. You gotta do some daily activity during the daytime. You gotta do some activity that get them drained out and avoid. Their diet is very important. Like your kids shouldn't be up at 11 o'clock at night. When if they woke up around 6, 7, they should not be up at 11 p.m. You know, are you how what are they eating during the daytime? They shouldn't even be having sugar. If you can avoid them having sugar, you'll be all right. They'll be in bed by 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. Drain them out. Have a backyard. Let them run around. Let them get into all kinds of shit. Let them run around. Take them to the park. Whatever you gotta do. And by the time they come home, get a treadmill. Act like it's a fun game. Put them on a treadmill.
You like tired the kids out. Again, your whole day. See, this is what I would never let ever happen in my relationship. I would never let a kid control my whole relationship. Like from sundown to sunrise to sundown, it's about them.
Mm.
And only when they're asleep do we get time for us or me or yourself. No, I think this is why people go to work.
Yeah, I mean,
But
but if
is
you're a
from
stay-at-home
sundown
mom,
is it's about them. They control your whole life.
they literally do. They definitely do. But I mean, like with the daycare, like you can't trust. I don't know.
You
Daycare's a
can't
little
trust
crazy.
everything, but you can't live in life. You can't live life in paranoia. You just can't.
You can't live life in paranoia. But what's the point of you? Okay, so what is the purpose of you having children if you're not going to enjoy raising them, or find a way for you to enjoy raising them? What's the purpose of you having children if you're looking for someone else to raise them? Like, what is it? Why? Especially the first 5 to 6 years of their life is very important during that time. Why?
The first, well, I don't think the first. Well, I would say the first 6 months is quite boring because they don't do nothing. They piss, eat shit, go to sleep.
Yeah, it is.
So that's pretty boring. But for the woman, she's in the healing process, hormones going back,
Mm.
feeding. So for the first 3 years, your life is going to be weird. Especially if you're a first time parent, it's going to be a
Oh
little
yeah.
weird. But after that stage, I say by the time the kid gets 5, if you're not pregnant again, then I think that's in the time that most parents be like, okay, it's time for preschool. Like just to have that little bit of time for yourself, that little bit of time to dedicate to your house, to dedicate to your man, for your man to dedicate. Say if you work remotely, how you want to work remotely if the baby is colicky? So it's a balance. It's a balance thing. Can't have too much of this. Can't have too much of that. Got to balance this thing going now.
I don't believe staying at home mom is a hard job. I don't believe it's a job. It's not hard. It's just repetitive.
Um, I don't think being a stay-at-home mom is a hard job. It depends on how many kids you got. I'm gonna just always say that it depends on how many children you got, and do you got multiples? Oh my God, I feel sorry for you. Oh, I feel sorry for you. You need help. You need help. You need help. You need help. Like I wanted to help the dad with the triplets. You need help, man. Like it
Clock
depends on
it.
how many kids you got, and like you said, maybe you need to pace yourself then, so you can enjoy it. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can enjoy the first steps, the first thing. Like you can enjoy the milestones.
Mm. But like if you have a child, the father dips, you don't have no supporting parents or aunts or someone like that, um, it's hard, but you gotta go through it. But just but you don't repeat it again. I honestly think if you're a single mother, you have a child, you need to stop dating. Like that dating process needs to stop unless you find someone that wants to. But for the next few years, focus on your kid, you and the child, and develop that way. Stop making the mistake of having a meeting a bad guy, Pookie, whatever you want to call him.
I don't. I would say that like if you got a young child,
Yeah.
I would date on a purpose. I mean, it's better to date when your kids is young versus when they old. I would say that it just is. The
Mm,
attitude and the moldability of the child is easier than when you got kids my age, my kids' age.
mm.
Because now you have to start a relationship with that kid. And this is another thing that one of my brother Mugabe, shout out to him, he said, I don't think women integrate their children with the new man properly.
Okay.
Like there's no integration. It's just the guy just thrown in there.
You're just
Or the
there.
kid is just thrown in there. And the kid don't even know who the hell this dude is. It's just thrown in the mix. Nothing was integrated to each
Mm.
other. And I think that'd be the biggest issue. And fellas, if y'all dating single moms, man, y'all need to have a relationship with that kid. You and that kid don't get along, it's not gonna work. That kid don't got no respect for you, it's not gonna work. That kid is disrespectful in general, it's not gonna work. It's just not. You're not the Scared Straight program. Don't try to be.
And you know what I want to say about that, about stepfathers? Listen, if you have children in another household, you need to provide more for your biological children than the children that's not yours. It is not fair for you to be giving your money and resources. You have $100. You give your stepchildren $50 and your biological children $50. That's not fair. That $100 is theirs.
I got a personal story to tell.
Okay.
When me and my son's father, relationship of almost 11 years, had a child each. He had a daughter, I had a son, and we had a son together. When I say we never really spent money on each other's kids, we never really spent money on each other's kids. If we did, it's because we loved them kids. Like it's something that we wanted to do. It was no pressure. And I was cool with that. Like I was okay with that. So the people around me, like the women around me, did not like that. They didn't like that at all. But I just didn't understand why he had to. It's not his kid. I get it. So. But that's my little anecdotal story. I kind of agree with that. I always felt like he should provide a little bit more for his children than my kid. And then the money that I save on not having to, it's in reciprocation of that, I got to give to my kid.
I mean, just for the fact if y'all living together, he should be, mostly paying most of the bills. I think that contributes a lot. That gives the child a roof over their head. So that in itself is one. But yo, where's the father? Like, don't put pressure on the stepfather more than the biological father. Oh, he ain't shit. Well, tough shit. That's your problem. My kids need to be provided for. I need to still go out there and get. If I'm not with the biological mother, I still need to be out there and get. You know what? Cool. She has kids that come with the process. I don't mind being there for y'all, but my kids come first. Just like her kids come first. Her kids come before mine, and my kids definitely got to come before hers.
All right, so I said that before. I put that out there in the world and on social media, and I got a
You
question.
got tore up? Okay.
I got tore up. Like they tore me up. The guys tore me up. They was in a red pill rage and they was on some, well, you should have stayed with the mother. And I was like, but listen though, like hear me out. If all these fathers take care of their kids financially, what is the stepfather complaining about? What do you have to complain about? You have nothing to complain about. If he is giving the kid the right discipline, financially supporting his child, you just did to mentor the rest. Like you're just really a mentor. Shoot, you could be a friend at that point. Like
Exactly.
you have no responsibility, you have no obligation, no responsibility. Like I don't. That seemed like a position to be in. Shit.
You know how many men get offended and upset when you tell them, listen, you have kids, just you're living with a woman, you're taking care of her kids. Take care of your own take care of your kids. If they get pissed off and like, why are you what world are we living in?
Oh my
Now it
God,
doesn't
AR. Can I tell you this one time in a KS group, the guy put a post that said, and I say in the name of Kevin Samuels, you cannot make this shit up. Bull said, if my baby mother gets in another relationship, I shouldn't have to be financially responsible for my child anymore. I was like, word. And a bunch of men agreed to that. A bunch of
see
men agreed to that.
now see that's not red pill. And that's not see people will sit there and say
I don't think
I'm
that's red pill. I
red
don't
pill.
think that's red pill. I'm just saying where I was at when
No,
I heard
I get it. But there's a lot of people that claim to be red pill and they have that thought process. And this is where I blame the women on. A man that's talking like that publicly on the internet, and you still get pregnant by a man who ain't shit. He ain't shit. If a man's saying that, listen, if you go and you live a life with another man, he needs to take care of my responsibility. Damn.
yeah, listen, I was arguing, well, that's because you're a baby mom. I'm like, listen, I don't, well, maybe, yeah, fudge it. You fucking right. That's because I'm a baby mama. You sound retarded. Why would you think that?
Mm.
So you don't want her. Nobody else can want her. And you don't want to take care of the baby if somebody else want her. That's crazy.
Mm.
That's crazy. That's some crazy ish. I said, this is a psychological disorder with you. You do not love your child. You love that woman, but you did not love that child.
You love that, you know what? I don't think you love anything. You don't love yourself either.
But
That's
that's another
insane.
thing that's going around. That's more of a ratchet woman's trait than a man's trait. Like that's a feminine trait right there. Like I would hear a woman doing that, like after kids. You don't want to take care
Well,
of the baby after baby. We wind up abusing the kid or some shit because
yep.
she ain't getting her way with a baby daddy. Like that's what it sounds like.
I've heard that a lot of men that think like that, and a lot of men be agreeing with that. And I'm just looking. As soon as I say something, I get full. I mean, man, I get flamed. They go on my account. They start reporting other posts that has nothing to do with them. They start reporting those posts, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is where we're coming from. No problem. Damn.
It's just be some things that you're like you'll be sitting there listening or reading or watching whatever these people post, whether it's a guy or girl, because I'm not sexist. I come at the women too. um and a lot of women think that when it comes down to parenting as your baby father is all about the money all the time. All the time is about the bread. He don't got to see this kid. He don't got to come over. He don't got to do homework. He don't got to do football practice. He don't got to get his hair cut. He don't got to. Well, I don't even want you to get his hair cut. I want black men to start learning how to cut hair because that's a bonding experience you can share with your son. But I digress. He don't have to do none of that. All he got to do is drop off a check, and you're happy. I got an issue with that. That's not cool. It's a lot more than that. If you all
We were
you
just
wanted
talking
is
about that
money,
earlier.
if all you wanted was money, then he should let him be the babysitter. You pay him for daycare then and go get the money.
I don't understand. Like some men that if they're just dropping off money and you're not even checking to see if your kid's being touched, molested, protected. You're not protecting your child. It's weird. It's wild.
You know how many men don't know their kids' teachers' names? You know how many men don't know their kids' doctors' names?
Yep.
You know how many men don't know what their kids allergic to? The mom got to tell them. How you not know these things? These are basic things. Like when we was looking for my son to get to school, right? I instinctively was like, well, what school do you want him to go to? Way before I gave my little opinion. De facto and leadership, A-r. It's a huge issue in these situations when we're talking about what is a single mother and a single father and co-parenting and what it looks like for everybody. It has to look this way, has to look one way, where we should be trying to have more of a solution-based conversation when we bring up these issues. Yes, the idealistic is to be married, but what is the solution to single motherhood in its present state? What can the single mothers do?
They need to stop. This is my advice to just stop. Why don't you just stop what you're doing? If a lot of people just stop, most of the problem will be resolved. Just stop. You're doing some nigga behavior. Stop. What qualifications does this man has before you have unprotected sex with him? What qualified him to have unprotected sex with you? Stop.
I would go, well, somebody brought up I'm gonna say 99 forms, but that's exaggerating. It's probably only 34. But the 99 forms of birth control that women can be on. And I'll say this, there's a clause on that birth control of 150 pounds from top to toe, from hand to foot. So it don't matter how tall you are, how short you are, you got to be a $150 for this pill, for these birth controls to be super effective, 99.9% that they tell you. Yeah, I mean, that's what it says when they're giving it to you and they're explaining it to you. Fuck the BMI chart. Yeah, I mean, that's what it goes. So if you don't give these women the right proportions of birth control, it's not going to be super effective. So raw sex comes into play in the decision making.
Okay, that's one child. Okay, one child you had, got it. Why is that still repeating for the second, third, fourth? You know, like when is the wisdom gonna kick in? Or is there any?
I
It's
don't know
insane
because in one hand, the single mother rate and the divorce rate amongst in the black community is hand in hand right now. So it's it's the long term relationship that is the issue that we don't talk about. We don't never like really talk about. We
well, I
just
mean,
talk about the
there's
the
more people
the,
that's
the paperwork that lock you in there versus sticking it out.
well, I mean, like even there's more people that are dating breaking up than there are people that are married getting divorced. So the rate of people just separating is very high, and it's higher with people that are not married. The married rate is actually very low in comparison to people who are not married. Because you know why? A man could just say, "We're not married. You know what? I don't play taking care of this family. Fuck it, out. My mama got a couch. I'm good." Married is a little bit different than that.
I get it, but the point is, in the black
Yeah,
community, the marriage rate, it is single.
it's bad.
The divorce rates and the single mother rate is playing hand in hand. So all you really going to do is create a lot of situations where people get married, but they don't stay married.
So, but who? So, okay. So let's talk about the black race. Who's really the issue? 70% of black women file for divorce, and if they're educated, it goes to 90% because they think they know better. They know more. They qualify more. They believe they have better options, right? So, if women are filing for divorce more, who's really at fault for this? I mean, all these men that they pick ain't shit. Is that the problem? It's the men.
Nah, it's the selection. It's the it's the pressure to get married. It's the I gotta get married and have kids before my eggs dried up. It's a whole bunch of you know what it is. It's an oversaturation of options. And the laws of power. There's a parable where a king had all these options and could never make his mind up. So indecisive.
Mm.
But a court church or whatever the hell that word was that they used, somebody in his court presented him with only two options. So he had to choose. you know? he couldn't be indecisive. So I would say it's an oversaturation of options and opportunities. And then we already got on the point of financial stability and what is the standard of how one should bring up a child and is the most successful and the most thriveful and all that good stuff. So you mix in a little bit of modern with, a little bit of like the flower people. There
Mm.
now
Got it. Okay.
living, So
Yeah.
back to this balance thing. Can we work in our Libra spirit and try to find balance? like solution based in the single mother's fear, right? Most single mothers are single mothers when they're young. Most men want young brides and want young. Most older men want younger women. I never understood why they never date young single mothers.
Mm.
These 40-year-olds that like the 19-year-old, 17-year-old that got a kid already, why you don't date her? Because I think it's unfair for the 17-year-old to have to date another 17-year-old boy that doesn't have a child versus her dating a 30-year-old that is ready for all that.
Mm.
I think that's a good
Nah.
solution.
No, I mean, if that's someone's preference, then I guess that's their preference. But an 18-year-old with another 18, they can gain experience and other coaches are doing it. I mean, I know other coaches have like the older people, but other coaches going to college, same age, getting married, and they're still together to this day. So there's a lot that our culture is doing. that's really, it's just a lot. It's just too much entertainment. The sexy red shit, it's disgusting. It's fucking ridiculous.
What? The sexy red shit, the
The se-
Sukiyata shit.
yeah, oh, God.
Rap got
Yeah.
vulgar. Rap got super vulgar. It got super duper vulgar. Super duper vulgar on both sides. It's just that it is it's women's turn. So you see a bunch of, I ain't gonna say a bunch. It ain't a bunch. It ain't 5 or 6 Sukis. It's 5 or 6 sexies. It's just not. It's just them
Well, well,
two. But
well,
you're going
it's
to
just
see
them too.
them on
But
the
you see a
forefront
lot of
because it's women's time.
well, this is a problem. There's two of them, right? But you see a lot of women who claim to be good mother, good women, that are supporting that behavior, which makes them trash women.
What you mean supported what
And
behavior?
99% of them are what? Single mothers. So there's
They are the audience they pertain to. They are the Section 8. They are the hood. They are the, if they not the white people that's listening to it and bopping off of it, making little memes out of it. If it's not that, then yeah. I mean, Sexy Red was on country fucking stages. That's crazy. That's more crazy than a black woman listening to her music than me twerking on a country stage in front of all these Confederate ass flags. Like, like, let's be real. Are we
and
really
she
worried about
and she's a single mother too. So
a proud single mother? Will sit out here and, anybody that made a song talking about they Uchi is pink and their booty hole is brown, right?
and she dropped a sex
Right,
tape and it looked
like,
like her coochie was brown.
and shoot, Suki made a song about eating booty. Like, come on now. Come on now. Like rap has gotten vulgar. Super vulgar. Uber vulgar. Y'all can't say shit about Megan Thee Stallion ever again. There's a Sexy Red. It got worse. Y'all should have left it alone when it was just a Cardi B and you had to start bitching. So they gave you a Sexy Red. That's a damn shame. I feel bad for hip hop as an artist.
But listen, well, hip hop really is trash though, right? But listen, right?
No, hip hop ain't
Hip
trash.
hop is garbage. No, stop. Hip hop is garbage,
No,
right?
no, it's
Hip
not.
hop
It's
is
not.
garbage. I'm from New York. Hip hop started where? Where
I'm
did
in
hip hop
Philly.
start?
I'm in
Okay, it didn't
Philly.
start in
We
Philly.
want to argue about that, and we're going to argue about
It didn't start in Philly.
that.
It didn't start in Philly. So hip hop. So I think I'm a little bit more qualified. I'm from here. Started over here. No, but um, as far as with hip hop, and I get there's some positive people, but it really teaches a lot of trash. It promotes. I know now, but even in the '90s, it promotes a lot of trash. And me as an adult that has children, that's some bullshit. It promotes a lot of garbage, and it teaches you to hip hop teaches you to repeat the cycle. That's basically what hip hop is. I love it because that's just what
But
I
hip
grew up
hop is
on. But
everywhere. Hip hop is in country. Hip hop is everywhere.
no,
It's
hip hop is New
everywhere.
York.
And pop
If it's
music is
outside of New York,
everywhere.
if it's outside New York, it ain't hip hop. Hip hop is New York. Okay. If it's outside New York City, it ain't hip hop. It's some other shit. And I
No,
get
I'm
Philly,
not
y'all,
gonna agree.
y'all can rap as well, but y'all can't
Yeah,
say
because
that. I'm
Philly
from New
rappers
York.
definitely can rap.
Yeah,
Philly rappers are definitely the creators of battle rap. So we're not going to do that.
stop the better rap.
We're not going
So
to do that.
who
We're not
who's
going
the
to do
top
that. Well, y'all niggas was
who
hip hop, bippity and
hold
bop.
on. Who's the top rapper? Who's the top
Motherfuckers is out
rapper from
here
Philly?
battle rapping in Philly. So
Who's the
we're not
top
going to do
rapper from
Philly.
Philly? Who's the top rapper from
Huh?
Philly? Y'all the
Huh?
king of black on black crime. That's what y'all Philly. Y'all the kings and queens of black on black crime. That's what y'all own.
Really? And New York
All right,
isn't?
all right.
Like in New York isn't? Y'all got gangs. We don't got gangs in Philly. We don't got. There is no such thing as a Philadelphia Crip, bruh.
Now, let
At
me tell you
all.
what we got. Let me tell you what New York got. We are the. I think we're one of the top of mental health. It's ridiculous. I think just yesterday, an old man that's in a walker, old man, the walker that you can sit on, he got
Yes.
up from his walker. I think he's like 86 years old and started stabbing people.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's a
Oh
guy that you
wow.
would try to help cross the street, and he just like,
Listen, at least my city just got we just got filthy people. Like we just keep it simple with the filthy people, you know. Crime rate is definitely crazy because Philadelphia is territorial in this joint. So uh,
yeah. But
it's not
those kind
city.
of
Our
people,
tri-state area is crazy. You know, beware when you
those
cross the
kind of
bridges, man.
people, those kind of people, these conversations not for y'all. Just y'all in a different world. I'm not from that world. I'm good. Y'all can have it. You know, there's no reason
I'm
with
not
those
a
people.
sexy red fan. I'm not a I like. I ain't gonna say I don't like ratchet music. I like ratchet music. I do. I mean, I like Two Live Crew. That was my favorite. I like Tupac. I like Biggie because they had a little ratchet and rawness to them. I like raw music. Should I say? That's what I should say. I like raw music. I just do. If it doesn't come raw, I don't want to hear it. You don't have to keep talking about, your booty hole being brown. It's not necessary. It's just
Yeah,
not
that's crazy.
necessary. But as far as her reaching the black community and that being in a preschool though, that was crazy. That's what happens when you have young teachers though. So I remember a teacher used to be old. What happened to that?
Old and unattractive. Old and
Old and
unattractive.
unattractive.
No butt, no BBL, none of that. So just not appealing to the eyes. You know, most of them look like a grandmother, basically, right? Like,
The youngest teacher I ever had was in her 30s. And she
mm,
was like mid 30s, 35, 34. That's the youngest teacher I ever had. I never had a 24-year-old teacher. I never had a 26-year-old teacher in my life. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
I don't know who's hiring. I don't know. There's a lot of agendas being pushed. You know, everyone's trying to be a content creator. It's like you're an educator. You get off the clock at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. You have a rest of the day to go create your content. You don't need to create your content in the classroom. And that whole thing with the hair thing. Oh my, yo, what's up with that? The teachers they were painting his nails. What type of shit is this?
One of the guys that I was talking to, shout out to him. I think his name is Demetrius Murray. He had a different perspective. His perspective was, well, not different, the same perspective as most men, I would say. But his perspective was like, well, he shouldn't be doing that with girls of the high school and the middle school of age, and they breast touching his back and how they're more influenceable and things of that nature. Um, and he was looking at it from the predatorial standpoint. Once I seen that man get his nails painted and a little bit too much feminine things going on, I kind of just thought he was just a gay teacher, you know. And he's young. Like a lot of these young folks is doing the weirdest shit on camera. Have you seen? It's a little old. Have you seen the lady that went to jail for allowing her daughter to wax other ladies on camera? You seen that, AR?
That shit was crazy. Dude was waxing their vagina and all that.
Right.
That
And
was
a lot
crazy.
of people was like, it's super inappropriate. And I was like, see, here's where sexism plays is rear its head. It rears its ugly little fucking head. Because we kind of groom our daughters to see our lady parts and things like that. That's pretty freaking natural. Whether it's ours or other lady parts. I think what was
What
the
in what
most
wait wait
weird
in
part
what
about that was her filming this shit and putting it on social. Like, why would you do that part?
hold on, wait. Let me understand this. In what instance would a child 5 years old, 6 years old, see another woman body part that's not the mother's?
Uh, midwives, midwives, they'll bring their daughters. When your daughter is, if you a farmer, your daughter done seen animals give birth.
That's
So
cool,
it's
but yeah.
it's a desensitized situation for women
Okay, but
and girls.
that's pretty much the only instance, right?
But that's what I'm telling you. And
Okay.
grooming and things of that nature is pretty desensitized in that
Oh,
nature.
got it. Mm.
Like real, I'm just being, yeah. Like my host said, men have to understand that women don't see nakedness the same as men do, and like y'all see each other nakedness different than we see each other. You know, it's a desensitized. We're desensitized from that. Y'all are sensitized from that. You are very sensitive towards seeing another man's genitalia, seeing another man in nakedness. Women are not from babies. We just from toddlers. We just not. We're not like that, and I guess that's where we're not equal.
But at the
When y'all
same time,
want to push that message of women not being equal, bring that shit up. Bring
yes, but at the same
that up.
time, exposing your children to anything. But you do disagree with the shaving part, right?
Huh?
You do disagree with the mother that allow her child to shave other adults, right?
At the age that she was, yes, but not in general.
Any underage,
No,
16,
no, no, I don't. Not at any
Okay.
underage, but at 6, at 7, yes. If she was like getting her menstrual cycle and things like that, then yeah, like that's like 12, 13.
So
And
you
that's
believe
different.
that third So you believe a 13-year-old should be allowed to see other women's like shaving them and stuff like
Not the way that you're putting it. The way that you're putting
the
it
way
is
it's on the
like
video?
I'm pitting my child. No, she wasn't allowed to see it.
She
I
was looking
don't
dead at.
want to put it like that. Like I don't want to put it like that.
I believe that there's no instance. Well, I mean, this is the issue I have, right? So you've heard the African proverb: "It takes a village to grow. It takes a village to raise a child." Correct?
Right.
Okay. The woman that agreed with that, it's okay. The woman that agreed to the teacher, those little girls could lean on that grown ass man and unbraid his hair and nail polish him. The woman that agreed to Cynthia G abort black babies because it can really harm you having a black male child. Um, Women that get abortions that agree to Margaret Stagner, which KKK member, to get rid of the black race or eliminate it. That is the village we have. So that's why I'm saying, like, you don't want this. The village can be very harmful because look at the village.
But
The village is hate.
we create each other, bro. You can't stop creating black women. It's not. We gonna stop having
Okay, but
kids.
no, when I'm
Even with
what I'm
her, when
saying,
she said, let's kill all the black men, she sells ridiculous. She sells
she sounds ridiculous. That's
a
one person,
genocidal, like that
but
sells some some
she got
genocidal shit.
thousands of, but she has like thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of other women who agree with that, and most likely
I
they're
don't
single
agree
mothers.
with her. I don't agree.
I
I
don't
don't know why. I don't agree with her. I can't. What you want me to do? Take her for her? I
know.
don't
I
know what
didn't
to
say
say about that. Like
I know you don't
I don't.
agree with her.
And I'm
I know
not
you
going to
don't.
say that I want to disown my people because of women like her. They don't represent all my people, or let's just say that's not my people. Straight like that. That's those people. That's not my people. The same people that sold us into slavery, those are those people. Those are not my people. That's that mentality. That's not the mentality that I would surround myself with, that I would call my kinfolk. I wouldn't do that. It's that simple.
Yes,
And
but
the
those are the same
solution
people that
oriented on this
are around
channel.
us.
So that is it's just that simple. But I
Mm.
can't take up for Cynthia G type. I don't like those women. I don't identify with those women. I got two black sons. And for those women that, as far as abortions, I would say black people
She has a son
in
too.
general, black women, black men in general are pro-abortion. So
Yeah,
there's that. There's that. Black people are pro-abortion. So
yeah,
we could attack that subject, but we can't attack it as if it's just black women. It's black people.
yeah.
A black man will tell you to get an abortion in a minute. Like that shit is a form
Uh,
of birth control. Abortion is not a form of birth control, FYI. And then on another, because you said a lot. Then on another hand, you can't be all right. I'm not pro-abortion, but I don't want single mothers. If they not aborting these babies, then they're going to be a single mother. And on
that's
longer being a single mother is still poverty on top of that. Being
no you.
in marriage in this society brings forth, like we're going to go recap, brings forth somebody unbalance of somebody being in a home. In your logic, I would just say most will try to balance that out, but there's a little slightly imbalance in that because the father probably is spending more time outside of the home. That's a
You're
lot
saying
to tackle. She's like, that's a lot.
it's really not a lot to tackle. Women just gotta be more precautious of who they have child with. Like, okay, having a child is a major decision, right? Which most people are not making, even thinking. But having a child, do you consider that to be a major decision in your life?
Absolutely. Having a
Okay.
child is a major decision in your life.
So
However, I
so let me
think that
finish.
for
Wait,
men,
can you let me finish? One second.
but
So having open heart surgery is a major decision that can affect and change your life. Just like having a child is a major decision that can affect the rest of your life. You would get a second opinion before you have any type of surgery. Why don't you get a second opinion before you procreate? Before that guy goes wrong on you, where's the second opinion? What qualifies? So it's not that without abortions, women have no options. They have to just suffer. No, you can literally make a better choice. And if you don't make a better choice, if you trust your own judgment, like you feel the last 3 to 4 men, you can get a second and third and fourth opinion, which is your family, your
right,
father. If you don't have that, you know, the if you
I
don't
get that.
make the better decision, you will suffer. Making
I
bad decisions,
understand that
people
part,
suffer.
but they're already single mothers. Like the shoulda, woulda, couldas don't work when it's already here.
Okay, yes, it's
It's
here, but
already
they don't.
here.
Yes, it's here, but it doesn't have to continue. It doesn't have to. It don't have to
Going
keep.
to continue if nobody wants to make a family with the single mothers. It's just going to be single mothers, and then you're trying to preach to the next generation of single women that don't have kids not to be a single mother.
The
Now,
single
we
the single
also have
mothers.
an argument of what is a single mother, because in your mind, you can't be a co-parent unless you're married. Since everybody in the comments keep asking me what's the topic, we was talking about single motherhood, but it's
Single mothers are failures. No, single
yeah,
parents. Sorry, single
he said
parents are
single.
failures.
You saying single parents are failures. Oh, so much to unpack. We're trying to unpack some of this stuff like little by little.
Yeah, and just so people that's listening, we're not attacking each other, right? So
Right,
just in case you're coming back in, you probably got in the heated moment, but it's not. We're not speaking on each other. I never
right.
said nothing about her personal life. I don't know her personal life. She don't know. We're not. So just so people know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like he hate women.
It's a woman that just had children that's not married. Said a single mom. All right. I'm gonna try to put it. Dang, where you watching that, baby? I'm trying to put this thing live everywhere. Hold on, wait. Let's put it all. Put it everywhere. That way y'all could click on in, tap on in. What back chat you in though? So I could just put it there. I know you over here. Everybody's put it here. There you go. Welcome to the stage, Miss Fields.
Thank you. Give me a second to get myself together. I've been chasing ducks and doing yard work. So I'll be
Well,
on cam in a minute.
you don't have to. This is the audio.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was keeping it simple today. It's a Sunday. It's Mother's Day. We don't gotta
It
be
is
pretty
Mother's
today.
Day. Look,
Yeah, we
and
don't
look, for
gotta be
Mother's
pretty
Day,
today.
they
No,
asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day. I said, I want y'all to leave me the hell alone. I want y'all to go somewhere, do something.
oh, now you don't have to worry about that. We canceled Mother's Day this year.
Yeah, just go do something. Leave me alone. And they did. They went. They are out fishing and going to the playground. So I'm happy as pie. Only thing I
We
gotta
were
watch now is the ducks.
we were just talking about that. I just was talking about you. I think I spent like a good 20 minutes talking about my good friend. Listen, man, Mr. AR don't understand why you would say something like that.
Well,
Like
okay.
no time.
In my defense, okay, I'm gonna say this in my defense. I'm gonna say this for myself and myself only. I am a stay-at-home mother. So I'm with them all the freaking time. So for me, Mother's Day is like, can y'all just please leave me alone? Can I just listen to some music and do something? Like I pruned my roses today. I did some yard work. Can y'all just leave me alone? Can y'all not argue? Can I not hear y'all yelling at each other? Can you just take the children and go somewhere else? I'm still gonna spend time with them, but yeah, can I get a majority of the part of the day to myself? That would be great. Matter of fact, can I take a shower without Momo busting my door down? Talking about can I have a fruit snack? I don't care. I just want to take a shower. That's all I want to do. So it's not because I don't love my children. Matter of fact, I hugged each and every one of them today, and I said I love you guys so much, and you are the reason why Mother's Day is possible for me. But can y'all please go away? So that's my answer to that, Mr. AR.
Hello, Mrs. Fields. Now, let me ask you: have you been listening to the stream?
I just tuned in, I want to say maybe 5 minutes ago, so I probably did miss something.
Well, explain, AR.
Okay. Well, now I did say I do believe that stay-at-home moms. Um, but I said that what the topic is that I'm echoing. I wonder why. Um, okay. So the topic is single parents are failures. The reason why I say that, part of the reason why I say that is because the very basics of life you fail to provide your child with is both parents protecting the child in the household. So that was
Ugh,
the topic.
that's pretty deep. And I'll say this in that aspect. I didn't have my first child until I was 35, with my husband. All of my children are with my husband. And had I not met and married my husband, I probably wouldn't have had children. Because I actually feel the same way that you do, in all honesty. I wanted to make sure that if I had children, that they would have a father here in the home, not co-parenting, that every night he was able to tuck them in and every morning he was there to see them to wake up. So I'm going to be fair on Mother's Day only, and I'm not going to say that they're necessarily a failure, but that should be the goal. The goal should be to procreate with a man that's going to be there with you and raise your children together in a nuclear household.
So if they're not a failure, are they successful?
No, they're not successful. I'm just trying to be nice on Mother's Day. Give me that, Mr. AR. It's Mother's Day, okay? Let's be a little nice. I'm not gonna say that they're a failure,
Nah.
but I'd say they could have made better decisions.
All right. So at midnight tonight, they are failures, right? But for this conversation, for Mother's Day, they're not, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let's wait
No,
till 12. Let's wait till 12:01. Okay, thank you.
I am not allowing this a message to be approved. You can't say single parents are failures, since the measure of success is subjectional.
I will agree that it is. It can be subjective. Like I look at it like this: if you like have one child or maybe two by the same man and something didn't work out, then you know what? Shit just happens and you just push forward and you move on. I'm thinking more of like the people that got like four children by four different fathers, things of that nature. Where, yeah, no, if you did all that, then yeah, you're kind of a failure because a mistake made more than once becomes a decision. So if you keep having kids by different men and they're not taking care of their kids, then you failed your kids. You failed your kids by the decisions that you made.
Right. I would say, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, like if Billy left me tomorrow, I got three kids. Somebody would look at me like, nope, she did the right thing. She was married. She has three children by the same man. And you know what? Shit happens and it didn't work out. But if it was like, okay, she got three children and three different daddies, a man's gonna look at me like, no, she made some piss poor decisions in her life, and she pretty much failed her children by making those piss poor decisions. I mean, that's just truth.
It's just a bold statement to say single parents are failures. That's a real bold statement.
Again, I just think that there should be some context to it. And that's why I made myself an example. If Billy left me tomorrow, if Mr. AR met me, for example, not trying to pull you into the mix, but he'd be like, oh, well, okay, you got three kids? Okay, well, so oh, they're all from your husband and things just didn't work out. Okay, maybe I can handle that. But if Mr. AR found out that I had three children by three different men, he would find me sexually undisciplined and making wrong decisions. And in an aspect, I failed my children because I did not give them the stability of having a father in the home.
I can understand that. I did say that too, Mr. AR, in the beginning. Like, it's the amount of children that makes it a fact. It would make it a extreme fact. Like the repetitiveness of making the same bad decision. It's not it's not bad because, oh, it's a bad thing to do. It's bad because it ain't gonna work out for you and it's not working out for you. So it's a bad decision. It's not successful, so it's not working.
But and that's and that's just being real. I have a good friend of mine. She's like 15 years my youth. I call her my little sister. She got two kids. And the first one, I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, yeah, you pregnant. Let me go to this baby shower. Lord have mercy. And then I met the dude, and I was like, oh my God, Lord have mercy. And then she got pregnant twice. This the second time, and I was like, he ain't help you take care of the first one, and you got pregnant again. You stupid as shit. And you know me, Keisha. Morphine. I say what I say. I say you dumb as shit. I love you, but you dumb because you made a decision to get stuck not once but twice. Now you got 2 kids to take care of, and he ain't helping you. So again, I think it's more geared towards people who make no, let me rephrase that. Towards women who make the wrong decisions repeatedly. Not, oh, one time I made a mistake. I can take one young and dumb. I can. I can do that. Oh, I was young and dumb. Okay, you did it once. Okay, you learned from your lesson. Okay, cool. And now we're not doing that no more, right? Okay, cool. But if you start to make the same decisions over and over again, I'm gonna call you dumb. Is what it is. Because I'm a married woman with children, and I can't imagine. I don't want to be a single mother. Fuck all of that. I ain't even gonna lie. I feel for
Miss
y'all.
Fields, I got a question. Well, hold on, wait, fuck that question. So
No, no.
we was talking about in the back chat. I'm gonna come back to that question.
Okay.
We was talking about in the back chat about co-parenting. Me,
Hmm.
Bird, a nice lady named Sunday, and
Hmm.
forget the other one, Taiwan, and we were talking about co-parenting, and Miss A-r made a comment of a co-parent is only someone that is married, like single parents aren't co-parents. And it was interesting that he said that. And don't agree, because I think single parent is when you are raising a child singularly. You're by yourself. You don't have no help.
Yeah, I would say let's define what a single mother really is, right? So, for example, I'm not going to say it because I know it's on live. I'm not going to say names, but I have a person that I know who is, by all intents and purposes, a single mother, right? Because the father is not really in the picture. He's inconsistent. I'm not saying he's not there, but he's really inconsistent. But she lives with her parents. So is she really a single mother?
Yes, you're a mother that's
But
not
but
yoked with a husband, with a man. You're not equally tied to a man. Even if
but
you're
but
living with,
I guess my question is that for her, because one day she was complaining about being a single mother, and me and her had a conversation. I said, well, but technically you're not really a single mother. Your parents, you live with your parents. You pretty much live with your parents, on and off throughout this whole relationship. So your parents pretty much raised your children. So are you really a single mother? Or are you just a mother who happens to be single?
she's a single mother.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I say that is because her parents don't have no legal obligation to take care of that child. If you and another person, you and a man is living together, and y'all have a child together, you're still a single parent. Why? Because there's no force of him taking care of his kid, or you taking care of your kid. There's no force. You're not married. There is nothing yoked. There's nothing that's making y'all stick together. What's the commitment?
But see, these two were married and got a divorce. And he actually initiated, I want to be clear, he initiated divorce, not her.
Okay, now that's co-parenting. Then if they
Okay,
was
so
married
that's
and got
coping.
divorced, that's co-parenting.
Okay.
If you're not married, you're a single parent. The reason why I say marriage is because I believe women need to start requiring men to get married with paper because it affects men more if he leaves.
Oh,
Now,
I agree on that one.
if you're not married and he packs up today and just leave,
Hmm.
okay, you can get him for child support, but the average black man's making what, under $38,000 a year? You're only getting $200 or less a month. You're not getting shit
True.
while he's
I
working
can
off the
agree with
books
that.
on his other job. So, I mean, if you're the one that's going to go through the suffering stuff, why don't you put some requirements on it in case he wants to back? You need reassurance.
I agree.
You can't
Like
just
I
have a
said,
kid with a man and just say, okay, I hope he doesn't change, or I hope this is who he really is. Okay, that didn't work for you the last 4 times. Keep going.
I can't even disagree with that, sir. That's why I had my children so late. I had my first child at 35. And it was because had I not met my husband and married him, I probably wouldn't have kids right now. But I met my husband and we got married, and then after we got married, we had children. Because I just refused to have children with a man that I wasn't married to. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. If that meant that I just never had kids, I just wasn't gonna have kids.
But let me ask you, okay, but you could have did the same thing if you wasn't married, though, right? You could have had kids, been a family, without being married, correct?
Not in my opinion, no,
Why not?
because that's not the order.
But I mean, I understand that, but y'all could have still had the same type of family effect y'all have now if you wasn't legally married, right?
I mean, we could have, but I don't see it that way. I come from a really traditional background, so anybody that's not my husband does not get access to my womb. They don't get children. I don't know how else to explain that.
I definitely agree, but Maureen does not agree with that.
Oh wait, what? What did I say?
What I'm saying, you believe that two people come together and create a family and be successful that way, even if they're not married.
Yeah, I don't believe you gotta have paperwork. You could have a private marriage. I believe in
So
private marriages.
if you have a private marriage, what's the obligation of that man staying around taking care of y'all
There's none.
if it's not recognized by the state?
There's none.
I don't want it to be recognized by the state because I don't need the
So
state
what's the
permission to
purpose?
get married.
But what's the purpose of getting married if it's not documented?
I don't need it documented. Like I don't
Okay,
know. I don't.
No,
I,
I
I
asked.
don't.
I
It's
can I play the a hole for a minute? And when I
Sure.
say play the a hole, it means that I would never do this to my husband, but I know I have this advantage
You gotta get the
over
disclaimer
my
out there.
husband, right?
Yeah.
I'm a stay-at-home mother. If he leaves me tomorrow, I trust and guarantee there's gonna be child support and alimony. I don't have to worry about nothing because we are married. We've been married for almost 15 years now. I get half his pension. I have property. Our names are on the property. We're legally married. I know a lot of us, we want to say, well, a piece of paper doesn't mean anything, but it really freaking does. Because, for example, my sister-in-law, she was married, and her husband, she's a widow now. She a widowy. I don't know what you call it. No, a widow. It's a widower for a man. But when he died, because she hadn't established anything, they came and swept everything from under her.
I would say for my individual
I'm just saying
experience,
that legally,
if I would have married my ex of 11 years and we broke up, I wouldn't have got shit because we ain't have shit to give me. So it would have
well, I
been no
mean,
different. It would have been no different than us just breaking up and going our separate ways. His obligation wasn't to secure me and my future. My future was secured by myself. But the obligation to his son is always going to be there. Like
but
there's no
here's the
option.
thing:
I don't
a
understand
good
that option.
a good husband, and I'm gonna be real blunt. A good husband and a good man is gonna make sure that the family is cared for, right? So, for example, he has his 401k, he has his pension, he has the life insurance. We have IRAs, we have land, we have the house, we have the timeshares, we have all these things. So when he, God forbid, let me knock on wood, God forbid something were to happen to him, if I weren't legally married to him, his family could come pull all, let's say his family didn't like me, right? His family could come pull all that from up under my feet and my children's feet, right? Because they would be considered the next of kin, not me, because I'm not married to him. And that's the part that a lot of us miss. When you are married to that person becomes your next of kin. Your sister don't matter. Your brother don't matter. Your mama don't matter. None of them matter. Your spouse is your next of kin. So
I
when I
get
hear a
I
lot of people talking about, oh, well, it's just a piece of paper. Well, guess what? Money's a piece of paper, but we go out every day and work for it.
listen, the paper is just wrapping up all the legalities that you would have to go through if you don't have it. It just wrap it up in a pretty little bow in one little contract. But you can still have all that stuff without signing that paperwork and marrying yourself to the state. Because you're marrying the state, you're not marrying each other.
Okay, hold on. But
See,
That's
so what?
ceremonial.
Hold on, hold
That's
on. Wait. Quick
ceremonial
question. What
between you.
paperwork
No,
though?
no, wait. I let you go. That's ceremonial between you and your husband or your partner, however one wants to identify that. But
Okay.
that's ceremonial.
Okay.
Everything that you sign is to that state. For me, I wouldn't need that. Like I wouldn't need that. I wouldn't be dependent on his income. I would just want him to solidify our children and our estate, the things that we built together. So say if we did have that land and we was divorced, it would be dissolved down the middle. It wouldn't be I get this because I got the kids. First of all, I wouldn't get the kids. I got sons. He would get the kids. So there's that. I I just don't I see things in fairness. If that man makes more money than me and I work, why wouldn't he get the kids? Why would he get the house? Why wouldn't I move out? That's just how I think.
but the thing with that is that that's a lot of fairy tale belief, and I hope. But we know that when people get upset, if I cheat on you with your sister, or if I cheat on you in any kind of way, whatever, the way you're talking right now is not the same that you may feel at that time. And what's the guarantee that you're gonna give me the kids? You won't. So I need a guarantee. What's the guarantee that I can get the kids? We got to get a prenup. How can we get a prenup? We got to get married. Without, and this is the thing with a lot of our own people. Even in business, there's no document, there's no paperwork. They just
That's
say,
right.
"No, I take your word," and we homeboys and we share blunts together and shit. And that's the guarantee. It's like before you open up your legs, don't you? You're the one that's gonna suffer as a woman. Don't you want a guarantee in case? Because look how many times we hear women say that men lie, men cheat, um men don't tell the truth. Okay, what? So now he's telling the truth because you open your legs. They lie every
Now
other
he's
time, but
telling the
this
truth
one,
because you married. Now he's telling the truth because you
No,
got the
no.
no, no,
argument.
no.
Like, what did that change? Look, this is the reason
It,
why a lot of marriages is
It,
failing because they
no, you're
thought
not
that the
listening.
paper was going to change that person and it
No, no, no,
didn't.
no.
And it didn't. And
But
I'm just not putting
what I'm saying is that
emphasis
you
on the
benefit though.
paperwork more so than the marriage itself. Like if you want to uphold marriage, uphold marriage. The paperwork is paperwork.
If you want to uphold a business, you uphold a business. No, you need to make sure everyone's kept in line and kept in place because people do go through change and change their mind. I can only control what I do. I can't
All
control
right,
what you
so
do.
marriage
So
for you is a business decision. That's respectable. I'm not saying that it's not. I just have a different outlook on it. The
you
only
have a
thing I'm
different
gonna say
outlook.
is multifaceted the way that one wants to
But
live
listen, your outlook,
in
your
their
outlook.
relationship. There's multifaceted how one wants to live in their relationship.
Listen, your
There's
outlook
no
is
black and white way.
listen. Your outlook is exactly what women are complaining about. Most relationships don't is not going to last anyway. So since you know most relationships are not going to last, because just like in the beginning, y'all all in love and we're like, okay, cool. Where's the 10, 20 years at? I don't see that. So how many failed relationships are going to get in? You're not going to wisen up. If you're going to have a kid, listen, having a child is more detrimental than having a marriage. People are so scared of marriage, but they just open their legs up. Fuck it. Yeah, I go raw, HIV. I go raw, herpes. But you're scared of a paper? The paper is the guarantee is to protect the woman. That marriage license protects y'all because y'all get left over so many times. Y'all ain't got, he ain't shit. Okay, cool. He ain't shit, but at least you got paid. At least you would have some sort of support by the court, by force.
And
But,
that works
I mean,
out. That's not working out for the men though. That's not work. That's not working out
It's
for
not working out.
society.
Listen, it's
No,
not
it's
working
not.
out for the men
It's
because
not
those
working out that you get
is
mad, you get
listen.
upset, and now you get a check.
Okay,
There's no different than
those
using a baby
listen.
for a check and child
Those are
support.
the
Let's
men. But
not
listen,
call.
those are the men that
It's
it's not
not.
work.
Oh,
Let me say one thing
don't
real quick.
use that as a
Let me say
weapon later on.
no, but
I
listen,
understand where Miss Phil's
it's
coming
not.
from because it's a protection in death, but
Listen, it's
in
not
in the
working out for
eyes
those.
of just domestic, you not getting
Listen,
along with
it's not.
this
It's
person
not
cheat
working
on
out.
you.
It's not working out for that
Okay.
man because those are the same men that would dip that would leave you. That's why it's not. It's like, damn, I'm forced to pay to take care of you and this child, even I'm not with you. Those are the same men that would leave anyway. So you got that protection. You buy a home
Exactly.
without insurance because no one should be burning down my house. Come on, you gotta. I mean, it's just a I
I
get it,
gotta
but
agree, sis. I gotta agree with him. I'm sorry that I couldn't come on here and agree with you, but I gotta agree with him. It's the protection part. It's like I said, like if Billy left me tomorrow, I'm like, all right, cool. You want to leave? Cool. But guess what? I've been a stay-at-home mom for 4 years now. Okay, you're gonna continue paying this mortgage. And this is me not saying nothing because I love my baby. We ain't going nowhere. He get mad at me, he better go take a nap because he ain't going nowhere. But I do know logically, if he were to say tomorrow, I'm leaving, you farted and I don't like the way it smelled. So I want a divorce. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Because you're gonna still have to pay for these 3 kids because you're on their birth certificates. We were married at each and every birth and conception, and we built all this together, and you're still gonna have to pay. So you can either just chalk it up and just be mad for a minute, or you can go ahead and go and you can pay me. But that is a thing that people that are not married do not have the option of. When you're not married and you get yourself into that situation, you're going to get like 10% of his income as a single mother. You're gonna get 10%. You're not gonna get alimony. You're not gonna get shit else.
I will agree to that. I'm not disagreeing to that. I ain't disagreeing to that because everything outside, like I said, man, marriage, that paperwork is a wonderful contract that wraps everything in a bow that you can get outside of that, but
That's
it's
it.
voluntary. Like he got to volunteer and do that. He has to volunteer sign this. But when it's a marriage, it's a happy little bow and puts everything in its proper perspective, business wise. So I already said that. I made that very clear. But I'm saying that marriage in itself is ceremonial. Outside of paperwork, it becomes business. That when you sign on papers, that's business. That has
But
nothing to
I
do with
think. Oh, go
it's
ahead, honey.
business. Like, I'm
I,
sorry. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say I completely agree with you, and I think that's where a lot of us get it wrong. I will say this, and Billy's home, and he can hear me. I did not marry Billy because I loved him. I did love him. Don't get me wrong. I married him because I knew he was going to be a good father. He was going to be a great husband. I knew that we would probably just die together, or one or the other would die of one, but we weren't going nowhere. We were going to build, we were going to have these children, we were going to do what we had to do. And at the end of the day, that legality, we may not like it. We may not like that, oh, the government has this paperwork on us and it's all government. But that government shit, even though we don't like it, sometimes it benefits us. Because as a wife, like, let's say again, God forbid, knock on wood, something happened to Billy tomorrow. I have full reign over everything. I get the 401k, I get the pension, I get everything in order to ensure, and I'm not trying to sound like a gold digger, it's not like that, you know me. I'm just saying I would still be able to take care of my family. Now, let's say I was just his baby mama and I was not married to him. I wouldn't get none of. Let's look at DMX when he died, right? He had a fiance for what, 9 years? She stood by his side through everything. And guess what? The family came and swooped all that shit from up under her because she was not legally his wife. And that is just truth. I'm not saying that everybody get married. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm just saying there are benefits to actually being legally married.
So what I want to know, Maureen, like, what do you think? How do the children benefit from not being married, having children? Like, where's the benefit of that for the children? I guess she was somebody.
Would you say AR? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, because so this conversation, the backtrack, really started about the children, single mothers, and so forth. So where does a child benefit by both by the parents not being legally married? Like, how does that improve their life?
I don't. I don't know. Listen, I've never been married. I just been in a long-term relationship. So,
Yeah,
and it
but
didn't work out.
but
So
the I don't
I
know
can say that
is not
it
acceptable
shouldn't be
when it comes to
something that
children.
anyone outside of me should be trying to aspire to be. I would say you would want to have a child with someone that you want to spend your life with, hopefully, and plan to do that in a way that y'all not financially struggling out here in these streets from check to check. Definitely put your like think about that as well. Can you afford a child?
Well, I mean, so what's the issue to you? Where is the non-benefit? Like, how do you not benefit by being married on paper? Like, what do you think? Like, what is the government doing? So what's
It's
happening?
nothing non-beneficial about it. It's just a choice. That's
But
all
what
I'm
should
telling you.
okay, okay, it's
Like
your
it's a
choice, but
choice.
why are you making that
I don't have
decision?
nothing, no satire like you can't do this, you can't do nothing,
But why are
nothing,
you
nothing.
making that decision? You're against for you, not for everyone else, but for you, you're against getting married on paper. So we know that there's benefits to getting married on paper
No,
as a
no,
woman,
just
right?
because someone say they're pro something doesn't mean they're against something else. That
But
doesn't
no,
mean
I'm saying
that.
for you though, right? Like you don't want to get legally married, right?
I ain't never say that. I just said I'm pro
Oh,
private marriage. Like
got it.
if
Okay,
I
and I'm sorry,
did, I
I do
did. If
agree.
it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm cool. I'm looking for somebody I could die with.
Okay, I thought
That's
you were saying
all.
that you was. I thought you was against the. There's some people that's against.
No, I just said I'm pro
Okay,
private marriage. Like I'm
got it,
pro
got
that.
it,
If that's what is going. If that's where we're headed, I'm cool with that as well. But
got it.
just
Okay,
because
okay,
someone is for something else doesn't mean they're against the opposite.
got it. Okay. I believe the kids are losing out. Actually doing
But
a really disservice to your children, to not you
Well,
personally, in general.
let me welcome to the platform, Mr. Taylor. Go ahead,
Hey,
AR. I'm sorry.
Now, Taylor, how you doing, bro?
hey, how's everybody doing? Peace to everybody, man.
great, how are you?
I'm glad
Happy
you're on here,
Mother's
man.
Day to
They're
both of
beating
you
me up.
guys. I don't know. I know you guys are talking about your kids, so happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
No problem.
I was just gonna add real quick, to piggyback off of what AR said. I get that in this day and age, we just we don't want the governments involved in our marriages, and it we can be married and not have the documentation. We don't have to go through all that. But there are huge benefits to being married, especially when you have children with that person. And I'm not even talking about, the cheating or the leaving or the divorce. So let me make that very clear. Let's just say, God forbid, like I said earlier, God forbid something happened to Billy. If I'm not married to him, it doesn't matter how long I've been with him. I'm not his next of kin because I didn't marry him. His mother, his father, his sister, those are going to be his next of kin, his children. So I have no say so on anything that happens. They could come and take my house from me. They can take whatever it is, the land, we have land. They could do all of that. But because I am married to him, if God forbid something were to happen to him, I'm the first point of contact. And I think that's where a lot of us fuck up, where we just think, oh, it's just a piece of paper. And like I made the reference earlier, well, money is just a piece of paper. And we go out and we work for it every day. Every day we go out and work for a piece of paper, for money to pay our bills. and we still broke, by the way. But at the end of the day, that marriage, I get that, we might not want to involve the government in it, but we have to remember where we are and the just reality of it. It is what it is. Oh, I can't hear nothing you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say we all for marriages, man. I'm all for those having the choices that they want to be and having life partners and sharing and not having kids outside of that. Like, I think all of us should aspire for that. Like I said, I think a lot of the solutions for the single mothers is to, like AR said, to not have a multiple, like four, five, three, four, five baby daddies. Like, let's not do that, because once it's done, it's done. Like, once it's up, it's stuck. I always say that. Like, so what's up is stuck. And we gotta have some conversations of how do women move in a date is fair as single mothers in these streets. When is the appropriate age to date for your kid? You know,
Mm.
and
I think when they can
co-parenting.
talk, if they can't speak, you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah, y'all got me
Definitely.
on this one. This I'm gonna have to sit that part out.
The first step to a solution is no regrets.
Mm.
Nah, you need to regret. You messed up. Regret that shit and sit on it and stop it.
But if you do it right the first time, there won't be a regret.
So hold on. Can we repeat the question? So the question is what again? Morphine.
The question is, in a way that women, single women aren't going to date, like they're just going to be out here.
Mm-hmm.
Single stepmom, I mean single moms is going to date. So how do they go and maneuver in the dating pond with the men? Like, what is the mannerisms? What is the expectations? And outside of date a Pookie in a Ray Ray, because that's not cool to have. Because how is that helpful?
Mm. Well, I think again, going back to what you just said and I said earlier, like if you got three, four, five kids and they got three, four, five different daddies, you getting pookie. Like you just might as well accept it. You getting pookie because you're not gonna give nothing. You're not gonna get anything above what you already procreated.
Right.
If let's say you're a divorcee or a widow or something like that, and you have all your children with one man, and I think that makes a huge difference. Um, I guess the only thing that I could say, and I'm just gonna put my feet in the shoes, like if Billy were to leave me, my biggest thing would be like, hey, I don't need you to be a stepdad. I'm just trying to chill with you. You have no obligations to my children. Um, but again, I think a problem in that is that most mothers have custody of their children, so the children are always around. So now the man that you get involved with is somewhat going to have to, even though he might not play stepdaddy per se, but he's still going to have to be around those children because he's spending time with you. So I don't know. That's why I say
Me
I
me
don't
and AR was
know.
talking about that. We was talking about how the fathers need to step up. The biological fathers need to step up with that. That may help. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That makes sense. Like, hey, dude, I'm going on a date. Take your kid. And I don't know. Like I said, that's why I say I kind of I don't have a great opinion on it because I'm not in this situation. I just try to put myself in the shoes because, like I said, if Billy left me, let's say I met AR, I'd be like, hey, dude, I like you. You cute, but I just want to let you know I'm not looking for no stepdaddy. They daddy is active in their life, and I'm just trying to chill with you. But again, then it flips around, and I think a lot of men have that I won't say fear. I can't think of another word. Apprehension. There we go. The apprehension of, okay, well, if I get involved with her, she has her children. So that means I have to get involved and bond with her children as well. And then down the road, if things doesn't work out, then I've formed a bond with these children, and now I done broke up with the girl and the children. I might have become close to those children.
Yeah.
And now I don't have any access to them because guess what? They weren't my kids.
Well, one thing I can say and I respect about that is that you said that you're not looking for somebody to help you with the kids. That's the issue I'll be having because I'm 38 with no kids, so a lot of the females with kids expect me to help them take care of their kids, and that's the reason why I wore condoms, so I don't have to take care of kids.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I don't mind dating a single mom. I'm just not trying to take care of somebody else's kids. That's all.
And okay, let me ask you this. It's one. Okay, let me ask you this. So would it be fair to say it's one thing like to have fun with them, right? Like, you go to the house and y'all joking or roasting, y'all might play a game of Madden, throw a football here and there, right? But to like actually take care of the kids like you're their father, is that a difference?
That's a big difference because, like I said, like you said, these are not your kids, and then push come to shove, and y'all break up. Now you done build a relationship with this kid that you gotta get rid of. Who wants to go through that?
True.
So I'd rather just, a lot, you know what I mean? Like a lot of girls that I mess with, either their kids are not around or they're not. I just look for girls that's not looking for a stepdaddy. They just, if that makes sense.
Now,
I like they got
do
their
you
kids.
have?
I say we out here, man. We out here. We don't need no stepdaddy season. We don't need no stepdaddy season.
Hold on. Now I got a curiosity question. Do you plan on having children? Do you want children? Because you're 38.
Of course, I want to have kids, but my thing is right now is that I'm trying to get my life together so my kids won't have to be in the situation that I was in. I grew up in the hood. I don't want my kids having to deal with, certain things, and I also want to have a household. So how you say you got married, you got your wife, your husband, and y'all in the house. I want something like that too, and I want my own family, or even if it was a girl that got kids, I want my own family.
So you'd be willing to maybe date a single mother that would also give you your own children as well?
Exactly. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. I was just asking for clarity. I'm a question person.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
That's a very fair statement.
As I'm talking to you, I'm actually painting a portrait right now, so that's why I'm kind of seem like I'm preoccupied, but I'm paying attention. What is Morphine doing? What are you doing?
I'm here. I'm sorry. It's 7:00. I'm cooking.
Okay.
It's din time,
Yeah.
It's great. This conversation was actually pointed towards one woman who felt she disagreed, and she didn't show up. She don't show up. Talking a lot of stuff, but don't want to back it up.
I disagree with you too in the whole, you can't be a co-parent unless you married thing. I understand your standpoint. I have a better understanding of what you're saying, but I just can never tell my mate that he wasn't a co-parent.
But you don't have to. It's not about him. It's really about the child. Not being married and having a child, you failed the child, right? Because they're not in the same household. The very basics of what a child is supposed to be born into this world with, you failed to provide that, and and the man failed that, and the woman failed that. You came together to have something, to create and build something, and then you separated to build it. It's crazy. You drew the blueprint together, but now to build it, you're not there. No.
Now I will say, let me say this in fairness. I can respect two people that just realize that, They made a mistake. By mistake, I don't mean like a burden and like they don't love their kid. They made a mistake, and you know what? But we're going to co-parent. We're going to get along. If it's actually that type of relationship, then I can respect that. But sadly, those are not the majority of the relationships these days. When it comes to co-parenting, it's a constant battle, a constant struggle. You ain't pay your child support, you can't see him, or you got a new girlfriend, you can't see my baby. Don't bring her around that bitch, or don't bring her around that nigga. Nah, no, we're not doing that. Where two people have moved on with life and they can't come to an agreement to co-parent, to raise that child. I only say that because I get that shit does happen. It does. I'm not saying it's right, but it does happen. But I can respect if two people can at least come together and co-parent in a healthy manner. It's the other ones that I don't agree with when it's just a whole bunch of bullshit involved with it.
Well, you guys, we almost at the 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna have to wrap up the show. Sorry.
Listen, I appreciate y'all having me. Is everyone here in the group?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Not everybody's in the back chat, but I can put you in the average black man. That's where everybody's at.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm in that one. Well, I'm an average black man, but
you're an average black man.
Yeah, I'm not in.
I made a new group with a bunch of new people. I wanted a different perspective.
Bro, and you ain't even invite me?
Not yet.
Oh no. See,
I got a slow integrate. I'm sorry. I got to slow integrate the old people.
Yeah, I'm not even in none of these groups. I don't even know what y'all talking about.
Right, so you can't be mad. Like, I just got a little method to my madness. I'm sorry, baby.
I can be mad. She know better.
I know. I mean, I didn't. Only person that's in the old groups that's in there is Timothy and Paul because they my admins. I ain't put nobody. I just have a whole bunch of new sprouts, little minds that I'm filling on. But yes, I am going to put some of my original OGs that come up here and support me every day in this group. I just wanted to trickle them in, though, because it's some strong personalities. Y'all know how I am.
Thank you for inviting me.
You always invited, babe. It's never going to be. And I'm sorry. I tried to tune in. I was trying to watch your show and not come on the panel because I was still at work.
It's all right. I know you be working at that time. So it's cool.
I was trying to watch it. I was trying to sneak and do some, sneaky shit. It wasn't working out for me.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Mrs. Phil, you got your own channel, a YouTube channel?
Oh, Miss Phil. Yes. Shout her channel out. Miss Phil. So.
Well, it's Soul Flow Conversations. I am actually the co-host. I'm not the host. The host is Dedrick Brockington. I can try to drop the link in there. We meet every Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We have some great conversations.
Okay.
What's the name of the channel again? You said?
Soul Flow Conversations.
Soul Flow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I follow that. I'm about to follow that right now. If you guys get the chance, follow my YouTube channel. Taylor XXX. I'm actually a porn star, and I just be talking about porn and stuff on my channel.
As a married woman, I'm gonna opt out of that one.
I think this stream was definitely for you then. That's why you have no kids.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna opt out of that one as a married woman, but I will keep you in mind.
You can watch. That's all. I mean, I give if you actually watch my channel and watch some of my videos, I'm actually giving informative information to people that want to get in the industry or talk or understand the industry and things of that nature. I also have an art channel too on YouTube where I'm painting and doing custom sneakers and all types of stuff.
Now I do the art one. I like that one. I like art. I'll do that one.
You gotta
But
type
wait,
in
you can drop
Conte,
their
the
links,
art
right,
guy.
in the chat.
I think you should have led with the art and the regular content. You know, led with that.
I gotta go find these damn ducks. I ain't
But
seen my ducks in
if you
like
see
30 minutes.
my name is Taylor Triple X. I'm pretty sure y'all figured that out.
I ain't even paying attention. It's Mother's Day. I've been drinking beers. I ain't even
A-r,
good.
can we get your can we get your promo?
Get my what?
Promote yourself.
Your
Oh,
promo.
okay. The name I have a podcast. It's called Air Dialogue.
Okay.
Air Dialogue.
Air dialogue.
Mm-hmm. And
Can you drop it in the chat?
It's a private chat. Y'all could drop all that in. I could copy and paste it and put it right on up.
Or just or you can send it to me, Morphine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, give me a second. I'm about to drop them in there so y'all can exchange things.
Yeah.
That just make things a lot more easier.
Where the fuck is these ducks? I have ducks. I can't find my ducks.
I just put a link to one of my channels right here. I think that's hold up. They copy and paste that. I guess I don't know. Wait a minute, hold up.
Most of my focus lately has been on Facebook.
Okay.
There we go. That's one of my channels. Let me get the other one so you guys can follow. Morphe, I need you to come on my channel, man.
And I'm a workaholic. I'm surprised I had time to do this today.
I'm a workaholic too. Actually, I start my second job tomorrow. So
I told A-r that I was going to do one with him. I was going to schedule it for tomorrow, but me and Tim got our show tomorrow, and we already had a bye week, so we can't afford to do this ever again.
Are y'all still doing DEI tomorrow? Or is it changed?
We still doing it. We're coming right back with it because we never did it. We gotta cover it.
Okay.
Cover what?
DEI.
What's that?
The new affirmative action. Well, it's not, but kind of is.
It was diverse, equity, and inclusion.
That's my art. I just posted my art link, so that if you guys follow that, that's my art channel.
Yeah, I'll follow your art channel.
And then my porn channel too.
Yeah, just your art. Yeah, art.
Man.
Just the art on the more contentious one, you know, because that go across some things.
No offense. No offense. I'm just saying.
If you actually watch my channel, I think you'll be entertained. Like, okay, it's not what you think it is. You're probably thinking that it's perverted and all types of stuff.
I mean, you did say porn, so I mean that's the first thing people are gonna think of.
Of course, I know that, but if you actually take the time to listen and watch, you'll be like, okay, I actually can fuck with this dude. You know?
Okay.
Did you put a link to your channel? I think I just followed this.
I'm gonna do it when I hang up because every time I try to do it, it hangs up automatically. So I'm gonna wait until we're done and I'll put it in there.
What channel?
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for watching. Thank for the viewers for watching. I'm gonna end the show.
All right.